Yeah. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, you is looking stressed, cuz we up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, stress, cuz we up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Someone said that I was up next. I said I'm up now with no mean of disrespect. I don't be at the gym, so I don't need to flex. You regret moving on to the next and making me your ex. Yeah, I roll up whenever you feeling stressed. Treat you with respect and never settle for less. Life's a game of chess, don't let it get you in check. She like when I pull her hand, grab her by her neck. Got her on the back until she break a sweat. She like rocking my polo shirts and rocking my polo sweats. Laying down after sex with her head on my chest. She whispers that you're the best, please don't turn out like the rest. Yeah, we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, looking stressed, cuz we up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, just looking stressed, cuz.
All right, NEFL world, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here with my new co-host, Connor McLaughlin. Some of you guys know him as C-Mac. Some of you guys know him as some coach and semi-pro. I know him as the center who cooks people. How you doing, buddy?
Great.
Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
You excited about this? Nervous at all?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Why, you don't want to say anything you're not supposed to? Or?
No, I don't give I swear.
Yeah. I think we can.
All right.
I've done a lot of swearing, haven't got kicked off yet, so
All right, nice.
I think we're good to go.
Watch your language.
I mean, Ben might yell at us, I guess, but... All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think a good week one in the books. We had some good games. We have some drama. We have some things to talk about. Plan today is we're going to go over the scores, recap, and then we're going to preview week two. Initial thoughts on the season so far for you?
I think that it's been stated by a lot of people, but I think the teams seem to be a lot more even, and the talent's spread out pretty well amongst the league, judging by what I watched week one. So.
Yeah, you think this season more than anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I initially I'm going to agree with you. Now, obviously, I think we still have our top 3, top 5 teams, and sometimes I think that's sometimes a little obvious. But it is kind of a wide open field this season, I think. How did you? Any changes at the field? Do you like the player refs? We're back, no issues there. I didn't see any really.
I thought Miggs did a great job for being a rookie and.
Oh, I did too.
All this stuff, explaining stuff.
Take control of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. So I was surprised by that, and it was great.
Yeah. I think, if possible, maybe get some refs some cheat sheets. You know, I've seen USA Flag do it recently. Everybody's got a format card with maybe some real basic rules and yardage right off the rip, just in case you need to forget. But no, shout out to Miggs. Miggs did great, and then filled in to help a game get going. You know, before Junior came over and blew the game. So, all right, you want to dive into the recaps already?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good.
So last week I went 5-4, which not bad for week one. I haven't seen anybody, I guess. We opened up with Crazy Work and Los Amigos. I think everybody had Crazy Work winning. Unfortunately, nobody predicted a birthday celebration, guys not showing up, field mix-up. Unfortunately, that stuff happens. It's a crappy way to start the season. For both teams, it really wasn't that fun to go down there. And I thought the teams made the best of it, the best they could, what they could. Shout out to Bobby. That guy's a dog, and even 4-on-6, fighting through, doing everything he can. But obviously it's a tough start for Crazy Work. I think they'll be fine. They got a good team. They've drafted well, and a lot of synergy on that team. So that game didn't really tell us anything, and I went 0-1 to start the day with them because I did pick them winning. I thought they had an edge on us, but I will say at the field I do think Los Amigos a little better than I gave them credit for. Not based on the game, just once seeing everybody in play, seeing the potential of what we could do. I still think John Garcia is going to hold us back, but other than that, I think AK drafted a pretty good team. So
Speaking of John Garcia, Pat Morris says, "Is that John Garcia's brother?"
who?
I'm
Do not disrespect C-Mac like that.
That's Pat.
I might be one and done now.
You got to deal with the comments. Trust me. All right. On same time, other field, we had TD Mafia losing to Honey Badgers 20-7. Now that's impressive. I did have TD Mafia winning only because, and I listened to the show. I know what I said. Because the uncertainty at quarterback for Honey Badgers. But I did say I do love the Honey Badgers roster. I think it's a great roster. And to give up only 7 points, 20-7, Honey Badgers take it. You watched some of this game?
Oh yeah, I watched it. Yep.
All right, what do you got to say about it?
So I will say TDM didn't have DJ, which he's huge on defense. He runs the defense. He's vocal. He helps guys out, let them know where they need to be. So that's a huge piece to be missing. Greg, 3 touchdowns, 2 forced fumbles. Kind of ran the show on that field for that time slot.
Greg had a week and a half.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to... Ben, when you're done swiping left and right, can you look at the stats for Honey Badgers? Can you give me what Greg Balamotis did?
Let's see.
Go ahead, talk a little bit. You got to buy him time. He's a little slow.
I guess I'm fucking 20 tabs down here.
Yeah, it's in alphabetical order. H.
You touched on it, and there was a lot of uncertainty leading up to it, and Vidge. So I will say the first pass he threw like right into a corner's chest. Luckily the guy dropped it, but from there on out the guy balled out.
Yeah.
Second touchdown of the game, he threw a post like probably 25 yards, hitch stretch, like before it even broke, he threw it. Beautiful ball. I was impressed. I haven't played with or against Vidge, so I didn't know what to think, and I obviously have not seen him play quarterback, but if he can keep playing like that, it's a pretty good team for sure.
What did Greg do there?
Let's see, 9 receptions off 10 targets, 2 touchdowns. Looks like a received fumble, and 6 flag pulls.
Yeah, so a defensive and offense, and we all know.
3 passes defensed.
Huh?
3 passes defended.
Yeah, he's all over the field. I mean, we all know his capabilities, and he's a great player, and he's going to be a huge key to their success. Now, putting up 20 points, that's not a ton. Now, there wasn't not a ton of scoring. I think scoring wise, little on the downside, probably averaging about a touchdown less compared to last season we played on these fields. 20 points, little under the mark there. I said a couple seasons ago, 40 points seems to be the winning number. If you can hit that 40, you should win the game. But when you keep a team to seven points, that's going to allow Vidge to make mistakes. It's going to allow him to learn the game and not put too much pressure on him. And that will help. Yes, TD Mafia not having DJ, that's a huge. That's kind of a game changer to a point. Not to say that TDM would have won. I mean, you tell me TDM's not going to have him. I might be picking Honey Badgers at that point in time. But I think it's a lot closer with him there. And even on offensively, he's a dog too. Who was throwing for TDM this game? Touchdown Mafia.
Was it Gora? No.
Do they not have their stats in?
That's
Jesus, Riley. Sorry, guys. All my stats are in. Was it
Is
Gora?
Gora on that team? Can we see that on the stat sheet?
Does it say Kyle Gora up there? It's in alphabetical order. Top to
Yeah,
bottom,
yeah. So Gora was
So it's probably Gora throwing. And that's tough for only put 7 points up. I think he's coming in his own.
I will say they got on maybe their second or third drive. They ran the ball a couple times in a row and had some success. And then I went back and watched the film, not just recalling this from being at the field, and they just got away from it and never really went back to it after having success. So maybe a wrinkle they should keep in there.
Yeah.
See going forward.
Riley's telling me Keno is in charge of stats for his team this season. So Riley's saying he,
Thanks, Keno.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
he's not responsible for this one. All right, well, I did pick TD Mafia. So Honey Badgers proves me wrong. So I was 0-2. Next up, we had Beer Hunters and Entity. Honestly, a great game. Entity takes it by 6, which I did predict a one touchdown game. Nico showed up late, and we do know EB and Nico have that connection. EB actually threw very well from what I watched. I know he feels he played like dog shit. John Garcia says you're a little low, so you have to talk more in the mic.
Oh,
Ben can try to turn you up, but
no, I can move it.
thanks, John. Appreciate it. I saw the game live, and then watched it again while I did the stats. And Eric actually he threw a safe game, not terrible, not the greatest decisions at times, and there were sometimes it's like he didn't even look at the left side of the field. He had a lot of stops open. You know, there was one drive where towards the end of the killing clock or trying to save clock, you know, where you had guys open on the sidelines. Sometimes those checkdowns are going to add up. EB ran the ball pretty well, you know, but it was a good game. It was everything I kind of expected, except I thought it was a little higher scoring than I thought it would be. Beer Hunter's defense is better than I gave him credit for. But it was a good game nonetheless. A little back and forth. Entity is I do have them again top 5, and I do think they're the real deal. But that was my first win on the picks. Brought me to 1-2 for the week. You have any comments on this game?
I think just in general, not just on this game, but also we can attribute a little bit of the low scoring maybe to, I know teams have scrimmaged. I know a lot of teams probably didn't have their full team there. So it's still week 1. We have to remember we're trying guys out in different spots and all that. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
maybe just
It
could contribute a little bit to low scoring games and such. But we had a couple high scoring games, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Hey, pull up the stats for Entity here. I'll give a couple shout outs. Omar threw great. Did really well. What were Omar's stats for the day?
20 completions off of 26 attempts, so 77% completion rating, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception.
What did he do? Did he run any?
He ran 4 attempts. 1 touchdown and an extra point.
Yeah.
Lost a fumble though.
So 4 touchdowns in the air, 1 running. He did fumble the ball. Soto had a almost full field fumble return touchdown. Shane Boss had a great game. And honestly, Danny had a good game too, stats wise. I think Danny scored 3 touchdowns. Is that right?
He did, yeah. Shane got 1.
Yeah. Shane was eating up a lot of yards. Danny had the full field touchdown, and Danny scored a few times come red zone. So offense seems to be clicking, and unsung hero for the team is Jason for that game. It just opened a lot up in the run game and kind of held the team together when they were getting a little argumentative with the refs, and you know he's kind of the voice of the reason. So little unsung hero for Jason there. And Entity will be good. Beer Hunter's a good team. We'll see how they bounce back next week. All right, next game we had Air Raiders and Heartbreakers. Air Raiders, I picked to win. They took this one 33-32. Close game. Did you watch this one?
I did watch this one. This is a great game. We'll touch on it at the end, but a little bit of a bad decision made at the end. first game for Corey in the league. He looked great, phenomenal. Had some great concepts. Protected the ball when he was running. He looked like a fullback in the 2000s. Like he had both arms over the ball. Like there was no way anyone was getting that out. Another thing, I think I'll give a shout out to Walter Nash. This guy played both ways the whole game, and a lot of people maybe just think, oh, he's a red zone big man target. This guy was pulling flags all game from the linebacker spot, so he kind of balled out there.
Yeah, I learned that last season. And the season before, I saw a glimpse of it, but then I really watched him last season. He's not just a big body. Like, he does a lot. He can grab flags. He pressures. He's a smart football player. I know he plays for the team you coach, right?
Yeah, he's
semi-pro?
retired this year now, but let's not talk about it. Maybe try and get him back. We'll see. Another thing, Corey and Walkley had, like, an instant connection. Like, they were just completing passes all over the field. I think maybe for the Heartbreakers side, they played pretty well. I think I would have liked to see. So I found out, I guess, Bonish has an injury.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to see Curtis playing receiver. Didn't get to see that. But I think they have maybe the capability of him and Yim in the backfield with this RPO stuff. Both quick guys, both make people miss. I didn't see that, but maybe that's something they have going forward. End of the game, clock management. So Heartbreakers need to get a stop. There was 45 seconds on the clock, and they have the 2 timeouts, right? So the offense has to run it out. And changes possession, the clock stopped, and they banged their first timeout and end the game.
Yeah,
so the offense didn't have to do anything after that. So that was...
Yeah, I did watch the last drive. Heartbreakers got to the goal line. Unfortunately, Kyle Clark had a drop touchdown, and then they didn't convert on the 4th down. And then they blew it with the timeout on the change of possession.
Still slim chance there. Like, maybe you're getting the ball back with 10, 15 seconds, but...
A chance is a chance. We've seen teams do it. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Some might say it's heartbreaking.
I was going to say it broke my heart to watch, honestly.
All right. Oh, Air Raiders taking the close win. Next game, we had another 1-point win. Guardians 26-25 over Spartans. I did have the Spartans winning this one. Guardians proving me wrong. Which brought me to 2-3 on my picks. This honestly was a good game. Not as high scoring as I thought it would be. But back and forth. Both teams seem to have not perfect offenses, but good offenses. And Jacob Lapointe played well. Rushing touchdown. They had a pick 6. That guy Dante Torres, I apologize. I was calling him Alex for half the game for some friggin' reason. But he's a baller. He really a game changer and a great pick where they took him. But yes, Guardians 1-0. Spartans will be fine. A little arguing with each other, play calling, and Spartans did opt to. So they went for 2 for a win. Sanford truly believes Chad deserved getting a PI call. Dante covered him, kind of boxed him out a little bit. It was 2 guys fighting for a ball. I watched it live. I didn't think there should have been a call at all. Unfortunately, my camera skills weren't the greatest, so I missed a little bit of it.
I did see that live too. Yeah, I don't think I call anything there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was two guys fighting for the ball, and to me, I thought they could have came up with something better than trying to get a 1-on-1 matchup. They went for 2 for the win, which I respect. Then they went for the onside, which I did question. They dropped back Chad and had Chad throw the onsides, which to me, why? Jimmy can go end zone to end zone. Chad's your best jump ball guy. To me, I'm not saying Chad can't make the throw, but I think he's more valuable jumping up and getting the throw. You know, I mean they still have Lauzo and Devon and a couple of guys that can definitely catch the ball and good receivers. But to me, that didn't really make any sense. And I don't believe they were even rushed at the 4 seconds. So
No. And you lose. I mean, if you have an athletic quarterback and you go double pass and you have another option, like, are we going to hit Jimmy on a wheel route to get that first down, or are we just taking away one of our options?
Right.
Like going double pass there?
yeah, I mean Jimmy tossed it off and didn't even move, so that
That's-
wasn't even the option.
Yeah, you're just losing a
Yeah.
guy there.
Yeah, I mean if Chad asked to throw it, okay, you know he's letting his guy work. I can respect that. But it was questionable call, you know, play calling. In my opinion, there could be a reason for it. I'm not knocking it, so don't take it that way. But Guardians getting the win. Honestly, a good game to watch. Great game all around. But Guardians proving me wrong. And if I would have known Finn wasn't going to be there, I might have picked Guardians because they're better without him. So I don't need it now. Thanks. Sorry, producer number 2, really providing for the show. Can you shut that door? Thanks, buddy. All right, next we had a very interesting game between Freezer Force and Wolfpack.
Yeah, that was wild. So Wolfpack starts the game with back-to-back turnovers, a Domo fumble, and a tip pass. I forget who the tip pass was, but Ivan ends up picking it up. So right away, Frieza's up 21-0, like in the blink of an eye. What happened here then? Wolfpack scores. Frieza drives down the field again. They throw a pick in the end zone. So almost.
Freezer threw the pick?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we're
It's
almost.
almost a 4-score lead?
No, they scored once.
Okay.
But they almost went back up by 3.
Yeah.
After that, I think. Well, starting with that pick, Dimes threw 4 picks in a row.
I heard Dimes had 6 picks. Ben, why don't you open up Wolfpack's... let's go Freezer Force's stats first. I want to see how many picks. I heard he had a lot of picks thrown, but I believe a lot of them were off his receiver's hands.
Yeah. So he had 4 in a row, like consecutive drives.
No stats for.
No stats for Wolfpack? Riley, what the hell are you doing?
No, for Freezer Force.
Oh, no stats for Frieza. Jeez. No wonder you're a quarterback dropping the ball everywhere over here.
Yeah, Wolfpack does, though.
Okay, Wolfpack has their stats. So,
But I will say 2 of those picks were tipped out of the 4 consecutive. for
Okay.
sure. But
Right.
that's a tough bid, man.
Riley saying 10 combined turnovers
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're showing 3 interceptions
for Wolfpack.
for Wolfpack. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Perdermo threw 3
Through 3, yeah.
and fumbled once. So, yeah, that would be 4, 6 on the other side.
Did
Wow.
fumble once, yeah.
How many receptions Champ have? I heard he had a lot.
Let's see. Champa he had 7 receptions off 10 targets.
Oh.
One drop.
Why did they say he had like 16?
Don't know.
That's what they said. They're like, oh, I think he set the record.
Oh, Jesus.
No, he
So-
had 10 targets. He's
10
the
targets,
most targeted.
1 drop, 7 how many touchdowns?
3.
3. Yeah, good. So good day for Champa's opening day.
Yeah, I mean they had 6 touchdowns total. It looks like.
Yeah. What did Jordan go on the day for? What was his completion?
He's 22 for 31. 71% completion.
22 for 31.
6 touchdowns.
71. That doesn't make sense.
71%. Yeah.
Who's doing the math over there?
I don't know.
Riley, can you do fucking math?
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you how to figure it out. Hold on. He had 22,
it's a little over 2/3, which sounds about right.
22, and 31.
22 completions, 31 attempts.
Right. So Riley, you take 22 and then you divide it by 31. Okay? That's not 71. You gonna do it right now, real quick?
Let's do it right now. I think it's close.
Jeez. I don't know what's worse, time shaving or Riley stat shaving over here.
70.96%.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right, I was wrong. Sorry, Riley.
It's
I will say, do the
my bad.
extra point interceptions, those count towards the stats there?
Yeah.
Because I think there was a pick 6 on an extra point, too. So.
Yeah, Jay Charles cried one season that he didn't win quarterback of the year because he threw picks on extra points. But Bova didn't bend, and that's that's you know. All right, what else you got for
But,
this game?
I mean, the tenacity out of Wolfpack to go down 21 and end up winning by 11 was impressive. I mean, tipped balls to interceptions is what it is, but still, I see coming back from 21, maybe winning by 1 or 2 points, to just come back from that bad of a start and end up winning by 11. I was impressed by that.
Yeah, shout out to Wolfpack for not imploding. Being down that big early. We've seen teams fight with each other. We've seen people walk off. We've seen, obviously they stuck together and dug deep and did what they needed to do. You still think Freezer Force is one of the top teams?
I mean,
Does this loss really take anything away from them right now?
Bad luck on intercept, but you can't throw that many picks
I
a
agree.
game. Like, we'll see. We got to get some stick them on some of those gloves because we can't be having all these tip balls for interceptions. That anytime you turn the ball over, that's deflates you and
turnovers are huge in this league.
any
Tacky bar.
tacky bar, something. We got to get something going over there because we can't have all these turnovers. Anytime, if a defense can get 1 to 2 stops in this league, I think you're going to have a pretty successful day. So if you're getting all these turnovers, you're probably going to end up on the right side of things.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're moving on to your game. We had Colt 45 and Boomermania. Boomermania taking the win 32-19. Unfortunately, you guys didn't have your number one pick there. A little back issue. What's your take on the game?
I think, just like I was saying earlier, personnel week 1, not having some guys in the right spots put us down. Like, they completed a couple deep touchdowns. We switched a little bit of personnel around and had a little bit more success. They still were scoring at will, it seemed like. Offensively, I think that obviously we need to put up more points, and that starts with just my game planning and going into things, looking at matchups on the other team and designing play calls off of that. I think it's a lot different spot than where we were at last year, and just I need to change the way I do things. So,
Do you think you should have ran a little more?
I do.
Okay.
I do. We had some success with it on like maybe the 3rd or 4th drive, and then when it came to crunch time, I got away from it. So
Yeah.
that's something I just definitely have to keep in the back of my head there.
Can I say what I said before the show?
Absolutely.
Okay. My opinion, I think Kevin needed the ball more this game.
Yeah.
Kevin's your best skilled guy at that point in time. And I'm not taking away from anybody else on the team. Actually, that dude Brandon,
Yeah.
I think is a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great defensive player, good offensive player. He got some looks too. Fortunately, he had a couple drops. He got some talent on the team for sure. I think, especially missing your number one guy, I think Kevin needs the ball a little more, and you might have a little more success. It is a tough matchup. I did allude to on the live. Boom Mania, they drafted a couple guys who really don't play that much, so they are able to keep their top 6 in a lot more than maybe everybody else, and they have a great fucking top 6. So it's a tough matchup. I think a couple plays go your way, it's a little closer for sure, and I think that's respectable to lose to, in my opinion, one of the top 3 teams. So for as having a bad game without your number one guy and still kind of being only a 2-score game, and it's not too far off. And yes, it felt like they did score every drive, but you did take them to some 4th downs, and you stop them there. It's a little bit of a different game. So nothing to crow about. I don't think it's a bad loss. It's you'll move on and learn, and I know you adjust very well, and you're a smart football player. But I wouldn't take the loss to heart that bad right now, especially week 1. But I did pick Boomamia, brought me to 4-3 on the week.
I will say for everybody out there, Riley's shoulder looked great. So don't fall for any of that bullshit.
You think it's all mental now? Or you think he is just mental?
No, I think they also have an advantage that nobody else has in the league. Papa Cody, that guy gets in your head, and I can hear him laughing on the sideline, and I instantly shit the bed. So don't let that guy get in your head.
I've honestly never even... I don't even think I heard the guy ever talk.
You're lucky. He's a menace.
All right. Boston Busters and T-Gods. I did take the Busters, and they busted that pick for me. T-Gods taking the win by 6 points. A lot of one-score games this week. Junior and company getting it done. I heard Rocker had a good game. Hey, T-Gods stats in.
Which one?
T-Gods. Look under T's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we do.
You get notes on this one, buddy?
Yeah, it started off, it looked good for the Busters. I mean, Junior threw a pick on the first drive. They went down and scored.
Shocker.
Didn't get the extra point. Junior came down and answered, though, after that. A side note I wrote, Mark Perry calling GU goo the whole first 3 quarters of the game had me dying when I was watching the film. That was hilarious.
Who's GU?
George Arena.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because he was reading his jersey. He just kept calling him goo. I was dying laughing.
I mean, I have no leg to stand on. I was messing guys' names up all day.
No, absolutely. I got my first look at QB halves. He looked solid, right? He did a lot of moving out of the pocket, kind of like rollout. He
Yeah.
had some success doing that. Maybe keep doing that. Like a lot of floods where he was rolling out to and just finding a guy open there. That looked solid. Obviously, you know, if you hand him the ball or snap the ball to him, he can run, make people miss. He looked pretty solid. We'll see how that goes for the rest of the year.
How did Junior look? What were Junior's stats here?
Yeah, he had a pretty. Looks pretty good. He had a.
Yeah, after that first pick, he did pretty well.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns, 31 completions for 37 attempts.
Interesting.
So 84% completion.
Wow.
2 rush attempts, 4 extra points. Yeah, so he missed that one and got the other 4.
Wow.
And
Junior,
then he,
Junior progressing.
yeah, 5 flag pulls and an interception himself, and a pass defensed.
Might be player of the week stats right there.
Do you know when that interception came in the game?
No.
It was to end the game.
It was to steal the win, right?
Yeah, Busters drove all the way down the field, running out of time, and 4th down and goal with the game on the line.
How far were they
coming
out?
out with a pick? Probably 10 yards, maybe
Yeah.
even less than that, honestly.
And Junior sealed it.
Yeah, Junior sealed it. Told the camera he was back, so
He's
he
back.
had a good showing.
Oh, okay.
He had a good showing.
That's good. Junior, you know, no, there's no championships win in week 1, just so you know. So, good week. You know, we'll see how you do the rest of the season. You'll blow it like always. All right, moving on. Game of the week, in my opinion, we had OVO and Blue Storm, and a lot to talk about. Did you hang out for this one?
I did.
I did take OVO to get the win. I will say, Blue Storm's team's a lot better than I gave him credit for. That is a top to bottom, honestly, a good team. Booten drafted a great team. You know, I'll rip on Quinn all day, and now I gotta put things documented when I credit him because he loves to go in these chats and talk some shit about me. You know, and maybe a second round was a reach, and we all joke, but no, that dude stepped up, and if I had to critique him this game. You know, he's got to stop arguing with refs and saying out of pocket shit and getting so fucking heated about stuff. But he actually played great. He really did. He stepped up, played awesome. That Ant Neves and what's the quarterback's name? Howe. That Ant Neves and Howe connection is very good. That's gonna be one tough duo to stop this season. I mean, this could have been a championship game preview. So great back and forth. OVO starting the game down big, and then just making the comeback here. So I did allude to the live. So Blue Storm open the second half with a 2-score lead, and right away Mike Howe is killing clock, and he did it for a lot of drives for the second half. And I start to think, I said on the live, I don't like the strategy because you don't know what's going to happen. But what happens if now OVO scores, takes the lead, and there's 2 minutes left because he didn't kill the clock? Now you got Blue Storm driving to win the game. Gives them a chance instead of having to stop, make the stops. So that's why I kind of dislike the killing clock immediately. I understand why he does it at times. But nonetheless, great game. I thought Hoseby played great. Hoseby was very accurate. He brought the team back with his running game. And then they started to run, and Blue Storm didn't seem to have the answer to their run game. A lot of missed flags, unfortunately, and I do think Blue Storm has a lot of good flag grabs, flag grabbers. And that's Hoseby kind of. I talked to him at the end of the game, and he was kind of beating himself up for not deciding to start running the ball earlier. But I gave him credit. I think he started running the ball before I would have. I mean, his strategy going into the game was, I have all these weapons. We should be able to dice them up and pass and get guys to miss. But it really wasn't working. Blue Storm was grabbing flags, and OVO wasn't really making anybody miss. They played kind of the conventional pass game. They weren't going deep too much, and it just wasn't working out for them. And me, honestly, if I'm the quarterback, I would have stayed doing the same thing and trying to, I credit Hoseby for making the adjustment. And once he made that adjustment, saw it working. You couldn't go back. I even said the live. Why change it? You have to force Blue Storm to change, and if they don't, just keep running the ball. And they did a great job. A lot of theatrics in this game, a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah. I mean, 2 mic'd up guys, it's going to get a little crazy for sure. I will add, now Hoseby's healthy, right? He's ready to go. There's been a lot of doubt on him since the season prior that he played. He's one of the higher IQ guys I know, so he's going to ball out this year. I'm putting that on the table right now.
Yeah, he looked good, and the fact that after the win, he really wasn't celebrating it. He was more thinking, how could he have been better that game, and what that just shows his character as a quarterback. That shows who he is, and obviously primed. They got a win. However, they got it. They got it over one of the better teams, in my opinion, and he's still trying to better his game. It's hats off to Hoseby for that game. He did play well. And yeah, there's some doubters out there, and in my opinion, he proved them wrong this game, and we'll see how they go forward. What do you think about the water bottle incident?
So I saw the whole thing live. I know how I was sick about it.
Allegedly.
So Johnny Tech, someone went to force a fumble, kind of looked like they maybe got him a little, and Ba was drinking his drink and capped it and threw it up and was like, and one, ref throw the flag kind of deal. And he just chucked it up in the air. And I tracked this thing, and before it got halfway down, I saw how, and I was like, there's no chance this is going to hit this kid. And without a doubt, it hits him. It was...
Yeah, I mean, 100% not intentional.
Yeah, 100%. And, right, being on the outside of it, obviously funny. If you're in this tight game and all this stuff's going on, you get hit with a water bottle, obviously I'm not going to be happy either, so I don't have anything against him for that, but it was definitely a little comical.
Yeah, I mean, obviously outside looking in, we can talk about it now, it's kind of funny. It should have been a penalty, regardless, unintentional or not. Yeah. There's holdings that are unintentional. There's roughing passes that are unintentional. There's still penalties. Should have been a penalty. I listen, I love Junior. I love Bova. I don't think this was a great ref game. And I don't think that was a game that the refs controlled. Got out of hand because I don't believe they controlled the game properly. I did hear Junior on the sideline saying, well, I'm not going to throw a flag on every play. I'm not going to, throw flags out here. But there should have been some flags thrown throughout this game to control it. And I think that's why it got out of hand. We've obviously seen the videos of the touchdown. What do you think about it?
So, I think a lot of this goes on in every aspect of football and flag, semi, everything. People screaming, "Oh, we have it on film!" and baby mamas. I heard it on one of the other films from a different game. A baby mama yelling, "We have it on film." The thing that we have to remember is we're not in the NFL where instant replay is a tool that can be used. So the films really doesn't matter, and there's going to be human error from referees all the time. I was standing right in the end zone, right where it happened, and I saw right away it wasn't a catch. The thing about it was Junior's was front pylon. The way he fell and turned, he had his back to him, so he had possession until he hit the ground. He can't see the ball come out. There's no way Bova sees that from the other side of the field. It's gonna happen every game. There's gonna be missed calls. So
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I'll give Junior credit. He was asking for the sidelines. Junior was putting himself in good positions to see things. He was trying, and I'm not knocking him. You can't be in the right position every time. Sometimes you're guessing. You don't know where it's going. And where Junior was, in my opinion, he did not see the play completely. Do you believe it was an actual catch or no?
Oh, no.
I don't either.
No. I knew live it wasn't, but I was on the opposite side where his back wasn't turned to me.
Right.
So I saw it right away. Knew it wasn't a catch, but there's no way, I can't.
Junior's not going to see that.
Yeah.
He's not going to see that from where he was. And
No
I think
way.
from his angle, he made the right call.
I 100% agree.
But from obviously the camera angle we saw, I don't believe. And shout out to Brooks. He had a great game, and Brooks is a great player. I don't believe he had complete possession of that ball. It just never seemed like he had possession as he was going down. Yeah. And in a contact league, I think you shouldn't have to maintain possession going out of bounds. I feel like that's been called against Adam a bunch of times. So I don't know why it's not called here. I mean, this isn't Bedford. This isn't capture the flag rules. This is more towards real football rules. Yeah. Nonetheless, we're not. Nobody's blaming anything on one call. Trust me. I was just trying to get your opinion or anybody else's opinion who wanted to comment on it. I don't believe one play makes a game, especially in this league. The games are an hour long. You know what I mean? There's so much to go on. Mike Howe, a couple fourth down. One fourth down, fourth and mid, and he's over the line as they're completing the pass. So, you could say you blew it there. You drive down, you score there. That's not even an option. You drive down, take more time off. That Hosby and company don't have time to go score. So there's a lot of plays you can blame it on. You can't just blame it on one.
They also had a 21-point lead at one point, so I don't think we can blame
it on a call for sure. For sure,
that's a lot of things that led up to that for sure.
Yeah. And it made a great game. It was two great teams going at it, and you know it's going to be high intensity. And honestly, shout out to Flip the Bird for the mic up. That was awesome. If anybody hasn't seen that video, go look at the video. It's just cool out there. You can hear everything's Mike saying. The camera angles, the quality is great. And if you're trying to get yourself mic'd up for a game, do it. Hit up Flip the Bird. Give him the money. I think it's worth it. I would do it, but I'd probably get arrested for how much I abused John Garcia in the huddles. And rightfully so, trust me. It's not, All right, let's, great week 1 in the books. Let's throw up the week 2 schedule. Let's get our picks and get the hell out of here. You got the schedule there, Ben?
Yep, it's up.
It's up right now?
Yep.
I don't see it up.
It's give it a second.
It's delayed like you? It's late to everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Field 1. We got Boston Busters versus Beer Hunters. Why don't you go first on this one? So 2 0-1 teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't really get to see the Beer Hunters play.
I didn't get to see Boston Busters play.
Yeah, true. I think they. I think I'm gonna go Beer Hunters by maybe even just like an extra point. I think it's gonna be close. I think that Lazu's gonna come out and change some stuff on his defense. He's another guy that has a high IQ and hates losing. Same situation. Probably if you talked to him after the game, it would have been the same conversation you had with Hoseby. So I think they're gonna come up with some change-ups, and we'll see Havs at QB, how he handles it. But I think maybe 1 or 2 points here for Beer Hunters.
Yeah, I kind of agree here. I'm gonna pick Beer Hunters here. I think EB really watching some game film, trying to adjust. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna come down to one score. I'm gonna give Beer Hunters the edge, only because Havs is a ginger, and I really don't like him. So, all right, Entity and your team, Colt 45. I'll pick this one first, I guess. You don't have to pick it if you know. I'm gonna go Entity here. Are you? How's Pat and his back issues? Do you know?
I'm gonna reach out to his agent after the podcast, see how things are going. I'm unaware at this time.
Okay. Now I still think you did very well against a good team, and the score wasn't too far off. You know, a couple plays changed that whole score. I do think Entity's got all bases covered as far as passing game, run game. I think it's going to mix it up, and I think even if you guys play good, I do believe it could be one of those crazy Danny Cruz plays that just gives them the edge. I'm going to take Entity here. You don't have to pick it if you don't want to. We got...
Yeah, we'll go to the next game here.
We got Guardians and Boom Mania, 2 1-0 teams.
Is Guardians who's?
That's Finn's team. That's who's the fake
Point,
Greek?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 1-0. You want to go this one?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna take Boom Mania here. They're a solid team for sure. Like I said, Riley's shoulder's fine. Don't let him tell you any other thing beside that.
Yeah, the only thing hurt is his feelings.
Yeah, I think they're, like you said, they have a solid group of 6 guys that can go out there and get the job done. So I'm going to pick Boom here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I know I keep saying that, but the matchups say otherwise. I'm going to take Boom Mania here. They did score every drive except their abbreviated drive at the end of the game against you guys. Their offense looked like it's rolling. Both defenses look good. Where I give Boom Mania the edge, Guardians did throw the ball a lot to Dante, and I do believe Boom Mania has a little better defenders and can focus on that. Probably shift Guardians otherwise, to force other way. Not that Guardians don't have the weapons, but I think it'll be an adjustment. I think Boom Mania does they research, they film, and they look at what LaPointe did. So, I'm still taking Boom Mania, but I think that's going to be a good game. Might be my game of the week, to be honest. We'll see. I gotta look at the other ones. I honestly haven't looked at any of the games yet. So, we got Honey Badgers and Wolfpack.
I think this is going to be another solid game. I think this will be a true test to see what Vidge is doing at QB, right? Like, if he can come out and perform back-to-back weeks, they'll be in a great spot. I do think that Wolfpack's going to win this one. I think Domo has a little bit more experience at QB and controlling the game. So I think this would be another great game, though, I think.
Yeah, I think we got a very good defense who Wolfpack turned the ball over 4 times. And I think you turned it over 4 times against a team that's defensively not as good as Honey Badgers. So this will be interesting. But Wolfpack did get a lot of turnovers and did still score a lot with turning the ball over. So we go 2 1-0 teams. I'm giving Wolfpack, again, in Domo I trust. So I think that's going to be my X factor there. If Champa has another good game, I think Greg will have another good game. I think they'll kind of offset each other, but I give the edge to Wolfpack here. We got Crazy Work and TDM.
All right, let me hear what you think.
I'm going to give Crazy Work the win here. Even TDM, not the greatest outing, even without their number 1 guy. I think Crazy Work, a little fired up about, how week 1 turned out. I do believe House is ready, to make that statement this year. They do have a good team. Miggs is a great player. A lot of options they can run with Miggs once they're fully loaded. And defensively, they got Jay Thomas, who can shut down one side of the field really at times. And, I don't think it's going to be an easy win, but I think Crazy Work pulls it off. If everybody's there, and obviously the picks, we're going to assume everybody's there. But I don't think there's going to be any confusion here. I believe House and company are in the chat telling everybody to fucking show up. So I got Crazy Work over TDM.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree there. TDM, rough outing this week. We'll see if they can bounce back, but it's going to be tough. Like you said, Crazy Work's going to come out flying, right? Like, obviously disappointed in week 1. I think I have Crazy Work in this one.
T-Gods and Heartbreakers. I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm taking Heartbreakers. Chances are I'm picking against Junior all season for obvious reasons. I think Heartbreakers bounce back here. You got their quarterback with a game under his belt now. Probably did not like that loss. Both teams, good teams. I think it'll be, again, a good matchup, but I think Heartbreakers will pull this one out.
I think we've agreed on most of these. I think I'm going to go the other way this time. I think Junior...
You're taking T-Gods?
Yeah, right. Started out with a pick and then balled out after that, right? Through, 5 touchdowns.
You think,
looked great.
Think Junior's changed? He's learned a lot?
Yeah, I think. Let's see.
Do you have a laughing button? No, not like an evil laugh.
It's the only laugh.
Jeez,
Don't let me down, Junior.
Junior is a letdown.
Remember this.
Do a good one.
I wonder where Junior is. He hasn't been in the chats. It actually breaks my heart. All right, we got Los Amigos versus Spartans.
I think I'm going to go Spartans here.
That's just silly.
I think they have some weapons over there.
Oh, for
Might
sure.
be tough to cover. I think obviously you have an offensive game plan and adjust on the fly and know how to get things done. I don't know if the defense is going to be able to stop their firepower.
Yeah, Matt Shannon's a lot better defender than I initially thought, which does kind of help our defense. It rounds it out a little better than I initially. I gave us a low ranking, and I truly believed it. It wasn't a shtick. I do believe Matt's a better defender. Just watching a little bit, and again, 6 versus 4 for a half. Like it doesn't tell you a lot, but it tells me enough. Yeah. I'm gonna give Spartans the edge. I think they beat us in a 1-score game. I think personally it'd be high scoring, is my opinion. But Los Amigos stock on the rise here, in my opinion.
I will add to that. I don't know if your thoughts on this, but does Matt Shannon look faster than he was pre-injury?
Well, he did say something about having more pep in his step, playing with a better quarterback, funnier, better looking, quarterback.
How about
Maybe I'm overthinking it then. Yeah, that could be it.
It's. I mean, no offense to Crazy Work, but it's tough to see where his speed is at when he's running flies on RT3.
Yeah, true.
No offense, buddy.
He was balling though. I saw him rumbling, bumbling, stumbling with a couple catches out there. He told me he had like 9 receptions.
Yeah, he did. He was.
Love it.
Yeah, no, he was killing it. He again, hats off to the guys that were there for Crazy Work that played. There was a fight the whole time.
Yeah, I will say if I show up with 4, like I'm probably just packing it up and going home,
Yeah.
watching some TV. That's tough. But yeah, those guys did have a lot of heart. When I pulled up and I saw them playing 6-on-4, I was surprised, and yeah, they definitely fought.
Yeah. But no, Matt looks good from his injury. Honestly, it's some guys lose a step, some guys just look different. ACL is what he did, right? Or was it MCL? There's something in the knee for sure.
Yeah,
I could have swore it was ACL, but Padermo coming back from an ACL looks great. He looks great. The guy's looking good.
Yeah, Patty Ice coming back from an injury too, right? He had a big pick in that game.
Oh,
Had
yeah.
some receptions. I haven't really seen Patty play offense, so that was good to see. A couple catches and a pick.
We got 1-0 Air Raiders versus 1-0 OVO. Who you got here?
I think I'm going OVO. I think they have, right, like a big thing Air Raiders have is Curtis running the ball. I think on the other side here we have Carter, phenomenal flag puller, right, athletic. That might shut a little bit of that down.
Yeah, Curtis not going to win that battle every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
They're going to have to air it out a little, and we'll see how that goes. Like I said, Hoseby, I think.
Hold on, I gotta shout out Christopher Banks chiming in. Top 2, not 2. One of my favorite travel teams around. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Hoseby is on a mission to prove everybody wrong, and I think he'll have some success this week as well.
Yeah, Hoseby seems like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, but he played great. I just think it's too much firepower for OVO. We'll see who shows up. But yeah, I'm giving the edge to OVO. Probably 2 scores here. And that's not a knock on Air Raiders. It's tough losing your starting quarterback. I think Curtis is great anywhere you put him. But if you have to take him off of a receiving core to play quarterback, now you're down a guy, and you're down one of the best guys around. So, and I also think Bonish was starting to really play some good quarterback.
Yeah, I think at that point you just go double pass and have the QB just sit there.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same situation there.
All right, we got Frieza Force and Blue Storm. We got to pick a game of the week here.
I was just about to say, I think for me this is game of the week.
2-0-1 teams, and you're calling it game of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of am too.
Also, wait a second here. Are these both the teams that had 3 touchdown leads?
Yep. They're both the teams that lost. Blew 3 touchdown leads. It's impressive.
So, I think, obviously, they're both going to be a little pissed off about that.
Allegedly.
I think for me, this is game of the week here. And I think
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I'm going to go Storm. Hopefully Danny gets his guys catching the ball because that killed them.
I kind of think that's a one-off. I don't think that's going to be the norm.
Yeah, I hope not, for God's sakes. But I think Howe, a lot of experience in this league, I think he gets it done in this game.
Yeah, I'm going Blue Storm as well. Sorry, Frieza. Listen, if you're having drop problems, get my guy Saul the ball more. Guy's got mandible claws there. Drops nothing. But yeah, I got Blue Storm winning this one. And yeah, 2-0-1 teams. I think it's game of the week. I think there's some very good matchups here for sure. But this is one I'm really looking forward to. It could go either way. Do you think either one of these teams going 0-2 really kills the season for them?
0-2, no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
From experience, 0-3, not going to be good.
Yeah. Do we have a playoff schedule yet? Do we know how playoffs is going to run? Is it going to be like last season?
I'm unaware of how that goes.
It's interesting.
I'm just looking forward to this week.
All right, that's fair. All right, we got any comments, questions before we end the show here, ladies and gentlemen? It was a good week 1. Let's have another good week 2.
Jacob
there
can't
is-
wait to be back in the chat after we both picked against him.
Yeah. I just ignore everything he says. I love Jacob. There is a playoff schedule, but Stevie, do you know where it is by any chance? It doesn't seem like the website's updated yet. It might be on the spreadsheet that they sent out, to be honest. So I'll look it up. We'll talk playoffs. What's your current top 3 teams after week 1?
That's a great question.
You want to go? You want to go your top 3? No, Darnell will not show up for TDM. That's my bet.
Let's see. I think I have, in no specific order, Boom's up there. I think OVO is up there. And I'm going to throw... I think the way that... I'm going to get a lot of hate for this probably, but I think Wolfpack's up there. The way they battled that adversity and came back and won by 11 points was impressive. So that's going to be my sleeper there.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm with that. I'm gonna go. It's hot. I'm gonna go Boom Mania. I'm gonna go Entity. Those are my 2. Now I'm torn between OVO and Wolfpack. Stylistic matchup. I almost give Wolfpack the edge. So I'm going to go Wolfpack over OVO. OVO's right there, and then Blue Storm probably after that. That's my top 5. I think once Crazy Work gets rolling, Freeze of Force, those 2 could crack the top 5.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, after week 1, like I stated at the beginning, right? Like, you're just feeling out your team. Probably don't have guys in the right spot yet. Like, it's tough to put out.
I know it's tough, but the teams that aren't prepared, those are the ones. They're retroactive, not proactive, which is why I'll give Boom Mania credit. They're very proactive. I didn't make any preseason games, so I'm very retroactive. What will John Garcia do to piss Steve off this week? That list is long, buddy.
Also, I kind of want to take a peek at what John Garcia's stats were.
No, you don't. I didn't even. I ignored that chat. I ignored that on.
Teams he on?
He's on Los Amigos, my fucking team, for no fucking reason.
I think he had an assisted interception.
I heard Tambo lobbied to get him on.
I didn't lobby shit. I'm trying to lobby to get him off.
4 receptions on 5 targets.
I threw the ball to him 5 times.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck is wrong with
He
me?
dropped once.
Yeah, he dropped it to a
That
pick.
one?
You threw an extra point to him, too.
What the
4 for
fuck
5.
was I
Probably
thinking?
best
Yeah,
hands
he
in
had
the
a
area,
pass
though.
defensed. Yeah.
No chance. I'm gonna ask you something. As if you're running a fly, is there any reason for you to fully turn your whole body around? Unless if the ball is thrown
severely
short, yes.
underthrown.
He does like running
Okay.
backwards.
Right, he
I
does.
saw that last
I
night.
threw a fly in stride. He does a 360 for no reason, and volleyball sets it up in the air to give somebody a free pick. Dude's an asshole.
That's a tough one.
No chance John Garcia's the new Adam Tamboris. No fucking chance. I mean, I'd probably yell at both of them the same, but
Hey, moron!
at least Adam's a good player.
Player of the week.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking, now, there's powers to be that come up with these players of the week and quarterbacks of the week. Anybody stands out right away as player of the week?
It's also tough. I mean, you can only watch one game at a time, right? Unless you go back and watch the film for every single game. So there's no way you're going to be able to nominate, who might actually win it.
Yeah, without all the stats up there, unfortunately.
I can only say from the games that I watched.
Yeah, Ant's a good candidate. Greg's a good candidate. I'm trying to think who else killed it stats wise. I mean, Danny's a good candidate. He did have 3 touchdowns, a lot of catches. Yeah, it's honestly it's tough. Again, without 4 teams, whatever. Nah, Champ had 3 touchdowns, which puts him up there for sure. I would have said Champa if he had 16 catches, but that was misinformed. But yeah, I would give the edge to Ant.
Yeah,
Ant or Greg over Champa. But yeah, that's probably top 3. Right now. I mean, obviously Matt Shannon had a great game, but it's we played a whole half against 4 guys. So
now, what are your thoughts on Junior with 5 touchdowns and a game-winning pick? Is he up there?
As player of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's in consideration. I wouldn't give it to him, but yeah, Brooks too. Brooks killed it offensively and defensively. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know. I honestly don't know who nominates players and quarterbacks. But yeah, it'll be interesting week 1 awards.
I think that's in the captain chat. No, that's how it was last year, right?
No. But I don't know who nominates them. I don't know if it's Bova who comes up with it. I don't know if they have, the good old boy crew has their own chat and comes up with a couple guys.
Probably could be like Bova.
No, Cutter for sure. Quarterback of the week is separate. We know that.
No, I was just giving Tambo a little bit of shit because I know he doesn't enjoy Junior, so. I'll threw his name out there.
Oh, you thought you're trying to get me riled up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Now, do you let's say you have quarterback A has good completion, 6 touchdowns. Let's say he threw 1 pick, but he doesn't play defense. Now you got Junior who threw for 5 touchdowns, threw a pick, but got an interception on defense. Should his defensive stats go into his quarterback of the week award? Do you consider that or no? No. So specifically. Just guys who play quarterback and what they do at the quarterback position.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's how I would do it. That's how I would vote. But I remember last year there's always arguments every week about who it should be and all kinds of bullshit in there. So. Well,
yeah. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be arguments, which is fun. I mean, it's cool watching Junior think he deserves Offensive Player of the Year last year, and it's not even close. So yeah, offensively, I think we have I think those 4 nominees are pretty fair. Quarterback of the week. Who threw really well? Hoseby threw well. Jacob Lapointe threw well. Both had rushing touchdowns. Junior 5-1. It's not bad.
I don't think did he have a rushing touchdown? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I mean, I did, but
well, you're way faster than Junior. No, not Junior. Get out of here. Junior should never be quarterback of the week. If he is, we'll shut down the league.
RT3 thinks that there should be an Iron Man of the Week award, and his team deserves it, which I would tend to agree with if that was an award.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I would give it to. Oh my God!
Bobby.
Yeah, I'd give it to Bobby. I couldn't remember his fucking name. Yeah, I'd give it to Bobby. We actually got a PI for AK holding Bobby on a 4-6 play. He was double covered. Why are you holding him? And AK kind of slipped and just grabbed onto him.
AK just started watching too. That's hilarious.
AK just jumped in. Shout out AK. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anything real quick before we end the show? I gotta get to bed. I'm an old man, and Greg's got to drive. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Let's make this every week thing. I like it. I need a good co-host.
Absolutely.
Not Danny who just fucking talks about himself forever.
I will stray away from talking about myself except for my rushing touchdown.
It was nice.
Check it out on film.
I gave you credit on it. You look quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Give it a like, share. Hey, listen, there's a lot of people that end up looking at this live. Just give it a like on that page. Let's grow it a little bit. I'd appreciate it. And tune in next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, Grace.
Yeah. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, you is looking stressed, cuz we up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next. Got you in your feelings upset. Said I'm up to bat, you on deck. At my best, stress, cuz we up now, they up next. Said we up now, they up next.